Good morning. It's truly my pleasure to be here today. First, so many guests, distinguished guests to acknowledge. To Mr. Ken Langone, let's give him a big round of applause, and Elaine for their generosity and their kindness and their leadership. To Ron Perlman, congratulations on what you're doing here today. Ron, let's thank Ron Perlman. For our great new mayor and my old friend, Mayor Bill de Blasio, an honor to be with you, Mayor. To Marty Lipton, who's been a guiding force for this institution for many, many years and really has done so much good. Marty Lipton, a pleasure to be with you. To all the other elected officials, today celebrates two great New York stories, in my opinion. The first story that we can't help but remember when we come back to NYU today is the story of heroism, grit, and resiliency. It's about the night that Superstorm Sandy hit, and the East River headed west, literally. I remember that night driving down 34th Street and seeing the East River pouring into the Queens Midtown Tunnel. And it was more than the mind could actually fathom. That began the Herculean task of evacuating 322 critical patients in a major New York City hospital in the middle of a superstorm, in the middle of the night. It's a story of ingenuity, dedication, and heroism. That no one was hurt, that no one was lost is a miracle in part, and in part a testament to the tremendous professionalism and skill of the NYU team. It was a story that resonated nationwide, and President Obama made it a symbol of the state's recovery. It's a story of building back better, learning from the storm, redesigning and re-engineering, and being the better for it. It's a story of New York. New Yorkers have a history of experiencing tragedy, refusing to be defeated, re-engineering, and re-emerging better than before. A yellow fever outbreak led to the founding of Bellevue Hospital in 1876 when the Hudson River froze and we couldn't bring coal in from Jersey. It inspired the construction of the Holland Tunnel. The Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire led us to develop a national standard for worker safety. Knock us down and we get up stronger. That's the New York way. It's been almost 2 long years with many people to acknowledge, many heroes who are here at NYU, because by definition, it was a team effort. And we owe a debt of gratitude to the entire NYU team that literally saved lives that night. And let's join me and give them a round of applause. We also owe a debt of gratitude to Ken Langone. Ken Langone was key to the most critical operation, which was securing $60 billion in federal funding so we could fund the reconstruction of New York, including NYU. I remember vividly Ken Langone's morning motivational calls, which were very early indeed, so they doubled as wake-up calls. I remember Ken saying the first words of the morning, "Did you have your coffee yet?" And I would mutter a few words in response, not as clearly or concisely as Ken would like, to which he would respond, "You haven't had your coffee. Have your coffee and call me back." Well, it worked. NYU is back. NYU is back better than before. New York City is coming back better than before. New York State is coming back better than before. And New Yorkers are coming back better than before. We expect Mother Nature to revisit, but when she does, we will be better prepared. The second story of today is the New York story of success and the New York story of generosity. This is a city that can turn dreams into reality, that rewards entrepreneurial spirit like no other, where the sky is the limit. But this is also a city that nurtures a sense of community and obligation. We are a place where people do well and a place where people do good, and they are often the same person. That is the story of Ron Perlman, a son of New York, a symbol of economic success, to be sure, but at the same time, a symbol of generosity and citizenship and philanthropy. It is the New York way to share success. And Ron has done that today. And Ron does that every day. Today we celebrate Ken and Ron for their philanthropy, the NYU staff for their capacity, and we celebrate our own good fortune for living in the greatest city, in the greatest state, in the greatest country in the world. Thank you for allowing me to be here.